Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. Your ALCS is set and the Snakes sweep the mighty Dodgers. Attaboy, Bryce. Let's get it. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek. You guys know SeatGeek by now. They're the #1 ticket company in the world, and they are giving you code JOHNBOYPLAYOFFS 10% off. And it's like, oh, okay, is there any catch? Like, first time using it, or I need to download it? No. If you're already in the SeatGeek game, code JOHNBOYPLAYOFFS 10% off. Maybe you're getting tickets to the NLCS in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. Maybe I'm looking at flights right now. And maybe if your baseball team's eliminated and you want to get away, go to the theater or music or wherever you can get away from it, and you can still get those tickets from SeatGeek. Make sure you download the app, John Boy Postseason, 10% off. Trevor Plouffe, how are you doing? It's been a long, emotional day. I mean, the last day with 3+ baseball games in the season. A team close to you got affected today. A team that's become pseudo-close to me got affected today in a different way a little bit. And meanwhile, the craziest, most badass, heavyweight action happened early on today and ended in a blowout, but was some absolute baseball fireworks. So, Trev, how are you doing?
It has been emotional for me. I got invested into this Twins team. I did. Obviously, these other series are compelling, and I think that there are some massive storylines to come, but a lot of my energy today, Jake, I'm not going to lie, was focused on this Twins game.
Yeah.
Me and Eddie Julian were just trying to get the job done. We know how it ended. We'll get into it, but I'm feeling a little nostalgic. I'm feeling a little bit grateful for a nice season of Twins baseball. And now I'm ready to turn my full focus, my entire attention to the CS.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I guess that's, I'm bummed out for your Twins, but that's a little Tim Tebow speech. Like we're going to get
tip your cap sometimes, man. Like the Astros are really good. The Snakes whooped the Dodgers.
Whooped the Dodgers.
Philly threw a blowdown.
What was that?
Tonight. Yeah, you got it.
Philly threw a blowdown tonight.
That's not a statement.
I think I did that.
It is tonight. It is tonight in this emotional state that I'm in.
I did that.
Say whatever I want tonight.
In a hotel room at that live casino outside of Philly. Trev, I think we got to get into the ball. We've got 3 games to cover. My goodness. Houston advances. The Snakes advance. And then it tees us up the other series for one of the most exciting games of the playoffs tomorrow. But first, we got to talk about what happened today. Braves, Phillies. 5 p.m. We be streaming. Series tied at 1's Game 3 in Philly on the bump. His name is Nola. N-O-L-A Nola. As Aaron would face the rival Atlanta Braves with the kid Bryce trying to pitch like one of his elders. Top 3, Ozzy. Albies your crying shoulder. RBI single, Braves 1-0. Castellanos answers with a deep drive. Bryce, baby. Bum, 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 ba-da-dun-dun. 3-run homer, and then JT keeps it real Muto with the RBI double. Bottom 5, attaboy Harper. His second of the game. It's 7-1 Philly. Some John Boy media as Philly twists the knife. Investor Trey Turner with the yard call. Nicky Casts with his second homer impression of the day. And then Philly drags Atlanta into the marsh. Nola, Strom, Sir Anthony, Kerkering, Lorenzen Phillies win 10-2 final and go up 2-1.
Sheesh, Poppy, sheesh.
Trev, drama. Like, normally where baseball isn't good and normally you get the NBA, this league, we got baseball's hot in the streets in this series.
We usually see just a bunch of bros out there playing ball. Yes, you get competitive. It gets, you get in the heat of the moment, but we usually don't have backstory like this. We don't have a guy coming out with vengeance like this. And we got that today with Bryce Harper. And it was, to be honest with you, it's kind of beautiful. And, take it how you want to take it. Like I keep saying, like, baseball, this is the entertainment business. This was entertaining. Bryce backing it up like this, and it was the Harper show today. I mean, that first homer he hit was incredible. And the stare downs, I'd love to hear your opinion on that. I think it's I think how I feel right now about it. I think it's just adding texture and drama to this beautiful rivalry on the field. About as good a baseball game as you can want if you're a Phillies fan at home.
10-2. The boys are absolutely mashing again. You get 4 homers from Harper and Castellanos, who,
yikes.
Hey, I know it's not our normal priority on a playoff episode, but, the boys come in dressed drippy. Like, I know there's a little bit make baseball cool. Like, Harper's
it was a Coach Prime day. That's what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, Harper dialing up the fits. Nicky Cast as well. They each hit 2 homers. Trey Turner hits a homer. Marsh hits a homer. And for a team that went to the World Series last year and they ran into another really good series or really good team last year who's still in the dance, and we'll talk about them in a minute. I guess for me, what's got to feel the best about Philadelphia is it's the same formula. Like, the lineup's nuclear. They've got more than enough pitching to get it done. And like we talked about before, it's a lot easier to pitch when you're up 6-1. When you're a pitcher gripping that ball, it feels just a little different. So I loved all of it, man. Like, I feel bad for Atlanta because, like, I enjoy Atlanta. Like, I almost want them being rewarded for being a 104 win team and being the best roster in baseball, IMO. But I mean, what Philly's doing and what Bryce Harper is as a superstar, it's incredible.
It's incredible. This is a series I don't think anyone wants to end. Like, you could just watch this. If you knew that, like, games meant something, I'd watch Phillies Braves every single night if I could. It's great. And like I said, you add now this little storyline to it, which will blow over in due time. I really do believe it's just kind of a capture in the moment right now. Nola, though, coming out and doing his thing, getting out of some jams. I thought there was one, the first run that scored when Acuna got on the second base. He, obviously you have to watch out for Acuna stealing bases. He had 70 of them this year.
Sure.
That pitch to Albies, which was I believe a first pitch breaking ball. You could see Nola kind of looking back, like almost giving it a little bit too much attention, and he kind of gave him a deke as he lifted his leg. I felt like he just got a little bit out of rhythm there, hung one, base knock. You go up 1-0. It kind of shows what Acuna can do to you even when he's not at the plate. He can on the base pass as well, just creating that pressure, man. But then Philly answers with 6 in the bottom of that inning, and we've seen that kind of throughout the postseason this year, those big knockout innings. And then you just kind of navigate with your bullpen through. And if you can add on, you add on. And Phillies were able to do that today, man. It was beautiful.
Philadelphia just like reliving the series a little bit at this point. Like, okay, the 3-0 game to start. There's some high-end pitching with a Harper swing and some other stuff going on around it. The Phillies, I mean, they had game 2, more or less, and then you get that one magical Austin. I won't say magical. Austin Riley's a very skilled player, but it's a magical moment for the Braves team.
A comeback.
And then, they had to come back. They're down 4-0, back against the wall. It could be it. And for the Phillies to come out and do this today, They have a fear factor to them that I don't remember with a lot of baseball teams. Like, with baseball, we do the whole you're going to win 60, you're going to lose 60, and you figure out the rest. And it's like, oh, this guy came out and had a stellar performance. It feels like Philly, every at-bat is a threat. Every at-bat is scary. They believe in what they're doing. Their home field feels like an actual advantage, which sometimes it feels like we over lean into that as sports fans. I don't know. I mean, they end up boathousing them in this game. They're feeling incredible. They plan on coming out and doing boat racing them. Not boat
We're
housing
on it tonight,
them.
Poppy.
Boat housing them is, I don't know, that's something rich
I
people.
like it.
It's either something rich people
I feel like I want a boathouse somebody,
or something
yes.
John Jaso does. Talking baseball celebrity John Jaso.
Oh my God.
I don't know, man. I guess what else do you have with this one? Bryce Elder gets hit around like he had a tough.
He started out nasty, man. That sinker was sank, and he was getting swings and misses on that thing early in the game, and then something changed. One swing in the bat, he kind of gets that one up to Castellanos. Bad pitch, but then more to come.
He's a unique pitcher. He's got that 90-mile-per-hour sinker that thing be sanking. And then he has a changeup that goes off it with a slider that you're like, okay, if you've been following the Bryce Elder story this year, like lights out first half, tough second half. Baseball Savant hates him, but it's almost like, who cares? Like if
Peter Moylan loves him.
Right. Like if you can disguise your pitches and stuff, like there's a lot of ways to get people out in baseball. It felt like it took one way through the lineup for the Phillies to like, okay, calibrate, auditing. And then they had his number. And yeah, I don't know. Like, you're right. Like it would be too easy to say like, hey, Bryce Elder wasn't looking good. Like couple of those first two innings, he had some gross pitches. It did feel like it was coming apart quickly. And there's been a couple. You can always just play devil's advocate, but I don't know. I guess I thought there'd be a little more sense of urgency from the Braves going to their bullpen. And it's a little more thinned out. Like, no shots fired at your guy, Michael Talkin, who put together a great season. He's the first guy out of the pen. But yeah, I thought they would have been a little quicker with Bryce Elder because, I mean, going through those guys in that lineup, if you don't have your ace stuff, it's daunting. And I want to talk about that a little later when we get to some Dodgers pitching and everything else. But it's also what are you supposed to do? 2.2, like that's, your bullpen can't give you 9 every day.
Hey, this is a series, man. Yeah. Look, Philadelphia got punched them out down there in Atlanta, but they snuck a game out, so they end up getting home field advantage in this series. They take the first game. It's just a blow to Atlanta. This is, like you mentioned, top to bottom, the best constructed roster in all of baseball. Where you can't give up on a team like this. So I think if you're Atlanta, all right, Bryce had a big game. Can't let that happen again. We can't allow, how many homers hit? 6? Can't allow 6 homers and win a playoff game.
Yeah.
So let's find a way to keep him in the ballpark and do our thing and bring it back to Atlanta. And I think all of us baseball fans are rooting for that. We don't need 2 off days. We need that game 5.
And I guess that's where, like, diving into this game, it turned into a blowout at a certain point that I don't know what else is there. I guess, what else do we need to cover, like, drama-wise? I mean, I can't wait for Baseball Today tomorrow for Chris Rose to hit you in the face.
Yeah, he's already sent me everything.
My God.
It's
horny October Chris Rose.
I'll give you my quick take right now. I haven't really thought about it too much. Like the attaboy drama. We're selling T-shirts, bro.
Oops.
I mean, it's fun. It's fun to me, I think, as a fan of the game now on the outside perspective, you feel like it's entertaining for people. I think a lot of people are having fun with it. I think some Atlanta fans aren't. And they were really mad and saying it was a fake story. I mean, it happened. So I guess I will give my take on it. How about that?
Yeah.
I do believe that the clubhouse is a sacred place. But it's not when the media's in there. It's not that same place that it is when the doors are shut. When you can, say what needs to be said, as a team to pump yourself up. I guess there's no way around it, like that it was disrespectful to Harper to be saying that, but it's not meant like really for him. It's more about getting your boys fired up. But if you say it in front of reporters, I don't think you can be mad at the reporter, especially in the playoffs, bro. Like there's a lot more media in there than typical, and they're not just your people that are with you day in and day out that really have to dig in deep for relationships. It's more, national type reporters during the playoffs. So it's like they don't have that relationship with you. So, I mean, you have to understand that. Do I think it's going to blow over? Yes, I do. Braves aren't going to worry about it. It's not going to affect the game tomorrow.
Yeah, at a certain time, you still have to play baseball. And, hey, you can give all the dumb sportisms, and I believe in some of them, like, don't pull on Superman's cape. If you don't have to get any.
Oh, it meant something, Jake. That meant something to Bryce. He found what he needed to get it.
I know. That's what I'm agreeing with you. You don't do that.
You went like this. You went like this to your boy.
You can never do that in sports. What all-time greats, all-stars, even these guys are top of the top in the world. Trev, I don't have to tell you we were there. One of me and Jimmy's first laughs was. A young Dansby Swanson on the Braves. We saw him at spring training 2020, I believe, before the world ended. And he let out some, the Diamondbacks came up, and he was like, "Oh man, like he gave this ugly look on his face. He's like, man, they fucking traded me, dude." And we're like, I don't they traded you for like other asset. Like it wasn't like they cut you, but athletes use all of that as fuel. And so, yeah, man, when I heard Bryce Harper, it's getting back to Bryce Harper that they're mocking him in the Braves clubhouse, and you're sending Bryce Elder out there. Easiest bet of my life was putting money on a Bryce Harper home run today. Everyone made money in the lounge. In sports, you don't do that. You don't talk shit to Tom Brady in his prime. You don't, let's go look at all the MJ stories. There was some dude on the Wizards who I think, end of the third period, just got a bucket on him and said one thing, and then Jordan embarrassed him for 12 minutes. That, I don't know. If you're a Braves fan, yeah, I would hate that leaked, and yeah, there's, some gray area there between media and what's said in the clubhouse, but if media is in the clubhouse, so you got to be a little careful.
Yes. Yes. I don't know how loud it was said. I don't know the real context of it, but if it's loud enough that was said multiple times, it's kind of on you. And if
the other part of this is if Bryce Elder had struck out Bryce Harper 3 times today, that wouldn't be the narrative. They went out and they got beat at baseball today by the Phillies, who were the much better team. So, was that because of one quote? If you're going to let one quote end your season the next 2 days, then yeah, get out of here.
Give me your take on Bryce, playing it up, because he played it up. He could have easily just hit his homers and been like, who said that? Something like that, right? He could have just dismissed it, but he decided to stare at him and said after the game, yeah, I was staring right at him. It's he played it up. Do you like that?
It's one of the best things baseball's had in recent memory, man.
I love it. I love it.
You mentioned
he's probably pissed at me for saying he made a base running mistake
the other day. We talk about the modern athlete
right.
sometimes, and we've gotten to a good place. But you look at some of those highlights of teams in the '80s that guys weren't millionaires, and these guys kind of fucking hated each other. They really did. You see it in some of the brawls and stuff. That the modern athletes, we've gotten to a lot better place. There's 1 or 2 guys that rub each other the wrong way, but it's I don't know, man. Seeing teams look each other in the eye and being like, yeah. And Bryce Harper, it's almost, we've done it before, so I won't do the whole thing, but it's a little bit the LeBron James speech of he's been in the spotlight since he was 15. The guy's biggest mistake for half of his career was he wasn't Mike Trout. And he plays with fire. I don't know, when you relive all of it, it's kind of I know this guy rubbed some people the wrong ways, but he was either really young when he did that, or
Who does he rub the wrong way? Like, what
I don't know.
section
My
of the
Auntie Ree
fan
and Uncle
base?
Rick aren't the biggest fan of him, but I think that's when he was 20 playing for the Nationals and he had a couple obnoxious things.
Like, besides Braves fans, probably now don't like Bryce Harper, but like in the most respectful way you can't like somebody. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
who really
You-
doesn't enjoy a Bryce Harper?
The people in his division, and if you're playing against him in the playoffs right now, like, yeah, he's like the best player, so you don't like him right now.
It's
But-
like not liking Yordan Alvarez's swing. I mean,
Our live streams have turned into Joe's just horribly sad that the Yankees looked at Bryce Harper, one of the most beautiful lefty swings you'll ever see. One of the most visibly intense competitors that the game has seen in a long time. Like, I know that's kind of a weird statement, but the fact that they weren't interested in
Didn't
that
give him a call.
is insane. And I couldn't be happier for Philly.
well, he
I mean,
couldn't play first base, right?
Yeah,
Like the
sure
captain
can't.
said?
Yeah,
That get and
You know what? I was
can't
thinking
assume he's
about
just gonna
that
be able to move
today.
to first.
he's playing first base.
Watching the games today, we got Bryce Harper at first base, Mookie Betts playing the infield, and where are we at? And I love that about them.
I think if you're like really good at baseball, you're really good at baseball. Hot takes only. Put that in the binder. Bryce Harper started. He started playing first base this year. He couldn't like throw yet. Like he was on like a.
He wasn't allowed.
He
to
was
learn
on like
it in
a
full.
60-foot throwing program. He's like a superstar of the game. So many guys wouldn't even put themselves in that position. Half the guys would get the phone call and be like, "Oh, first base this year?" Like, no, I'm an outfielder. Why don't you go figure it out elsewhere? He's perfect. He's perfect.
Except he doesn't wear pinstripes.
He does.
He
He's wearing
does.
red pinstripes, and I'm happy for all the people that enjoy that.
I think don't Yankees have pinstripes trademarked? You guys do stuff like that, right?
We sure do. Trev, we haven't been doing a lot of this, and I think it can be high and tight, but 8 p.m. tomorrow. It's the only game.
Yes.
Everything we just said and tasting the Phillies and Braves. Whoa, scary times. Spencer Strider. This guy who's, I don't know, breaking baseball a little bit. He led the league in strikeouts this year. Also, I know this used to matter more. He was 20-5. He led the NL in wins. Like, you got the strikeout leader, you got the wins leader, and you've got this machismo of a man who we've seen videos of him screaming from the dugout. We had a quote come out right before the playoffs about, how maybe a joke about him not liking playing in front of crowds. That we've got the Phillies fans chanting, "We want Strider" at the end of the game. Strider is becoming, I think, slightly more polarizing of a figure. I think he's got a chance. How about this? A la a young Bryce Harper, who some people
Okay.
I think could go either way.
Yeah.
I think young Spencer Strider is either going to win a lot of people over tomorrow or lose a couple people. Because, if he goes in and he shuts down that lineup and he shuts up that building, I mean, Spencer Strider just got like a 5-year lease on me. Like, I'll be all about that. If he has a tough day at the office, sheesh.
I think we have to look at Spencer Strider now, especially like in these days in the playoffs. These are his young years in the playoffs, and let's just assume he's going to have a long and beautiful career. I think this guy's going to be like I don't want to say Verlander. That's not.
He
super
has
fair to
that
put on
energy,
him.
man. I know
He's
he's
got-
shorter. He has that energy.
He's on the trajectory to be a guy that pitches for 15 years in the big leagues and has a ton of success, right? So we're watching the early years of his playoff career, and couldn't you just see like a freaking lockdown game in Philly when they're chanting his name? Couldn't you just see that being a notch on his belt? A guy like this?
Yes.
Like I love the storyline, man. Like, you're getting me pumped up right now. Ranger Suarez, is he starting? He's on
Yeah.
the bump.
Yeah.
Love that. Yes. This is it's going to be great baseball, and I'm actually glad it's the only one. Center stage.
Yeah, 8 p.m. We'll be streaming tomorrow. Might even be time for a couple blue moons on the stream.
Need one now.
I've been holding off. I've been telling a couple of people because last year's playoffs we had a couple drinks and a couple drinks afterwards. It's New York City. Sometimes you need a blue moon to take the edge off. God, one game Thursday night. Hello.
If I was out there, we'd be having blue moons coffee.
Those blue moon Belgian wheat style ale. It's a one-of-a-kind beer. You need that Valencia orange, people.
Only.
You need it.
Can't have a beer without it.
And maybe we'll even get it delivered to our stream because if you visit get.bluemoonbeer.com/baseball, you can see your Blue Moon delivery options in your area. Get.bluemoonbeer.com/baseball. It was brewed by baseball. God, click the link.
What did you say? He was houseboating it or boat?
Oh, he would out there houseboating it. What is that? Is that when you... That's either like you're really rich and you don't know what to do with your life, or you've like given up on life.
John Jaso, we got to talk to that.
We need to get him on the program at this point.
We're friends, man. Like I think.
Do you know how hyped the true Talkin' Baseball fans would be if that a Wednesday morning episode drops and it goes John Jaso interview? there'll be a big group of sickos hyped.
It's just me and you sit on the beach shirtless, and all of a sudden John Jaso walks in, and we just rap, man. I could do it.
Okay,
I like that.
Should we move on?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Game 2. Oh, slightly different tone on this one. Hot boy Joe Ryan on the mound with the Twins season on the line, while Houston would say, show me your cat, a.k.a. show me your kitty, as Houston tries to advance to their 7th straight ALCS. Take the Rolls Royce out for a drive. Lewis, solo shot. It's 1-0 Twins, but Dr. Smooth has just what the doctor ordered. He matches with a solo shot of his own. It's tied up at ones into the 4th. Don't throw it there to JoJo. El Oso Abreu 2-run home run makes it 3-1. Would the Twins have a season-saving rally? Former Montreal Expo Edouard Julien homer, cutting the lead in half, but Neris Abreu Presley 3.1 hitless from the Houston bullpen as they advance to their 7th straight ALCS. Inevitable. Houston wins 3-2 final. Trev.
I want to start by tipping my cap. Houston, inevitable is the right word. 7 straight ALCSs. Dusty Baker passing the mic to JV after the game and said, all right, guys, let's pop these on the count of 7. That got me, bro.
Yeah.
Let's pop these on the count of 7.
Yeah.
And then they sprayed each other with alcohol and drank beer together, all wet, bodies rubbing against each other. It's a marvelous time. And they get to do it a lot. And Dusty said, I'll wait to give my speech after the World Series. So that's the energy they're playing with.
Yeah.
This was a tough one. I think the game plan worked out for the Twins. The Joe Ryan was not long for this game. I think they had a path they liked with the bullpen. And you know what? It worked. Caleb Theobald gets pumped. Abreu is red hot right now, and he left the fastball out over the plate. Punished it because that's what he does to baseballs right now. I told you, Astros fans, that you got a good one, and he is mashing. Over the last 2 months, he's been maybe their best hitter. No, I won't say that. He's been really good for them, though. The Twins just, we couldn't get anything going offensively, man. Bottom line, you get the couple solo homers there. I told you Julian's a beast. Told you, man. He's going to be that way for a long time, too. He's a really good hitter. And and Royce did his thing, but we just didn't happen. And I honestly, for Kitty, are you serious, man?
Yeah.
Like, congratulations. Like, you're a fucking stud. And Dusty methodically just like kind of like watching him to see, okay, like, how many can you go, big fella? Like, just the perfect tempo in the game for them. He gives them length. They come in with their filthy bullpen who just bulldoze right through the Twins, and that's it, man. Brian Presley, you're a god.
Gross. We use a lot of terms in sports. I think fearless is one that comes up. I don't know if it's normally a baseball term, but Jose Urquidy, you see a lot of these starters coming into a playoff games, and you look at their stats and you go, oh, like playoff baseball, you might not be long for this one. In a tight game, Dusty never flinched from Urquidy, and there was really no need to. Urquidy's fearless. Like, Dusty's fearless, and if he has to answer the question, if Jose Urquidy gives up a 2-run homer and he's got to, like, he's ready to. Like, that's his guy. The regular season, we do what matters. For a team that's going to their 7th straight ALCS, Dusty Baker knows who Jose Urquidy is, and if he looks like himself, and if he's feeling good, and if he's going to be able to give them an effort. Like, he's on the pulse of that because he's seen it happen already for the past few years. I don't know, man. 7 straight. Like, hey, I'll give my little assist to the Twins before you probably write some final notes on it. There's some exciting stuff going on there, man. The whole pitching staff. I mean, that's like bona fide. And even in this, they hold Houston to 3 today. Like,
yeah, they did their job, man.
Yeah, that they held.
Paddock was filthy.
Held them to 2. In the other game, they won. Paddock, yeah, like he's got that coming back. Fearless, how about batting Jose Abreu in the middle of your lineup, even though he still had a tough year, but he's Jose Abreu. And then he comes through this series, and he's a problem. They're fearless, and they should be. During 8 hours of live streaming, the topic of, like, and if we need to kill a day, the topic of, are they a dynasty? Like, someone brought up, if they win this year, are they a dynasty? Like, no, it's a sign of a dynasty. 7 straight ALCSs.
Yeah, I don't think they need to
2 rings.
win anything
Like,
else.
They've won most of those ALCSs.
Once you win multiple championships and you have this much success consistently, you're a dynasty. I don't.
And I guess where I was with the Twins, because I do think this is a lot more compliments to the Astros. I think the Twins were thin hitting wise, but Eddie Julian, that's new, that's different, and we can pencil that in. Royce Lewis, that's new, we can pencil that in. Carlos Correa, remember, like, the Twins, no way they'd actually sign Carlos Correa. They've got a little core there of like three guys that I don't know. Like, we make our central jokes. The Twins feel different. Even Duran and the rest of that bullpen, and that's where I want to give a little credit to Jimmy. When Jimmy, he's got an eye for some shit, and he was, whatever he sees in Caleb Thielbar's curveball, he knew it wasn't going to be enough, like, for Yordan, basically. Yordan got him in that first game, and then he gets got by Abreu. That, I don't know, man. Like, that's the only blemish. Brock Stewart was nasty. Chris Paddock looked like he was going to become part of postseason lore for a little bit. Jax, Duran, man, like, this Twins team feels different, and I'm excited for you, but they ran into those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I want to give my Twins final take. I don't know what else there is to say about the Astros. We'll talk about them in the ALCS preview. They're a monster. I mean, it's just open every single door. The boogeyman's there to get you.
Payne,
you can't say enough about Urquidy. I want to say I've said this a bunch now, but Wayno and AJ, and the other guy's name is Adam. I don't want to forget
Nice.
that.
Adam Amin.
They did a great job, and I think those two work really well together. And Wayno is very good.
Okay.
And I would like to call games with you one day, Wayno. So I'm just putting that out there in the ethos.
Wayno, I know you remember Trevor Plouffe as an ERA lower, but that's a compliment coming from him. He wouldn't just say that about you. So, okay, I'm gonna keep my eyes open on Wayno more.
Okay, yeah, I think he's a pitcher, bro.
Yeah, and that's not
respect.
Starting pitcher.
So he's got to be really fucking good if you're gonna like him.
Yeah, I like him.
Presley 3 strikeouts, Neris 3 strikeouts, Abreu.
Yeah,
2
I mean
strikeouts.
they just can't. They were a buzzsaw, and Urquidy got swings and misses when he needed to, and yeah, they're.
Dude, it's just
set it and forget it. ALCS. We'll talk about it on the preview.
Yeah, they fucking do. They fucking do everything, man. Like they play defense, they hit for contact, they hit for power. They have starting
Bregman picking the ball at third base.
Bregman pick was
Pena
gross.
They're just. Those are opportunities that they just squander because they make plays. They just make the fucking play, man. They don't mess up.
Astros.
And I told you have to play perfect to beat them. The Twins didn't hit enough. I said score 6 runs.
Yeah. And
if you would have told every single Twins fan, hey, you're going to go up 3 runs today, they might, we're winning this game. We're going to win this game. No problem.
Twins fans are obviously thinking of 1 or 2 at bats. I mean, even, in this game, one bad pitch or one better swing, and we're talking about how Twins got it, and we're going 5.
Well, I mean, first inning, Julian hits a double, gets doubled off on like a softly hit line drive that like he couldn't really do. He took a bad first step.
I won't.
Could have got it back. That changes everything. If that's just a line drive somewhere else, 2-run homer, now you're a tie game. All these things matter. Astros got it done. These Twins, I will say this. Okay. Give me 30 seconds on the Twins. Everybody's coming back. And they're all cheap. So, I think there's money to spend. All those relievers you're talking about, they're not making a ton of money. Polanco, Kepler, they both have options, player options. I'd assume there'd be some sort of trades being explored in the offseason because they have a bunch of outfielders and they have some depth in the infield now. But yeah, Royce Lewis is making nothing. Eddie Julian's making nothing. Matt Wallner's making nothing. Alex Kirilloff is making nothing. They have a bunch of guys there, and that's the system. Have guys that are making league minimum or close to it, so you can go out and add some people. I would love for them to go and make a run. They're going to have to get some pitching because some of that's exiting. Sonny Gray is going to be gone. But a lot of pieces are returning. I'm excited for the Twins.
Twins will catch up with you in a little bit. Houston goes on to face the Texas Rangers. Boogity boogity.
That's gonna be an awesome series, man.
There's been some daydreaming about that, and we're getting it. And both teams look like they're clicking. And you've got a Scherzer comeback storyline, and with Houston,
dude, all I need to do is I'm gonna go into the clubhouse and just hear somebody say something, man.
Yeah, I heard. Someone was making fun of Abreu's facial hair. What?
It was me. That's nasty, bro.
It's nasty.
Usually I'm all for stuff like that, but whoa.
It's nasty in the best way.
Yeah, none of them are wearing undershirts. Nobody wants to wear an undershirt anymore.
No.
It's just
Can't.
Why would you?
Can't. Why would you is something I would tell people. Well, I would say why wouldn't you? Get yourself some Farmer's Dog. Trev, I don't know if you probably may or may not have seen any of this content. Noodle the Doodle Dog, my dog, made a trip to the office today. His first time coming to the office, ran around a little bit, little birthday treat for little Poppy. And Noodle loves his Farmer's Dog because it's fresh, healthy dog food developed by vets, nutritionally balanced, made from real healthy ingredients, up to human food safety standards. Whether your dog is young or old, it's never too late to start investing in their helping them live a more healthy, happy, and full years together with you. Get 50% off your first box of fresh, healthy food at thefarmersdog.com/johnboy. Plus, you get free shipping. That's farmersdog.com/johnboy, 50% off. Click the link in the description. Dodgers trying to not get swept in the desert. Sir Lancelot Lynn trying to defend LA's honor, but it's getting fought in here. Brandon would hope to lead the Snakes into the NLCS. Scoreless into the third. Perdomo goes solo. Pot calls the Cattell smack as he homers. Christian Skywalker is your father. And then Moreno just misses out on going pole dancing. So instead he pulls on it himself to left. 4 solo homers. 4-0 Snakes. It'd stay that way into the 7th. Chris Taylor, gang. Kike, do you love me? 2 RBI singles, a little fortitude by the Dodgers to make it 4-2. But Ginky and the brain. Seawald, after Fott, Thompson, and Sal Frank again, we play for rings in the desert. D-backs sweep the mighty Dodgers as they win 4-2 final.
How about it, huh?
How about it, Trev?
You can't even say the little D-backs that could, because that'd be an insult to them. These guys are looking like a freaking juggernaut out there. At least they beat what we were thinking was the juggernaut. In every facet of the game, they went out and just put a hurting on the Dodgers. And I don't know if that's better for Dodger fans or worse for Dodger fans. I have no idea. They ripped the Band-Aid off quick, though. That was a quick series, an absolute beatdown. Homers after homer after. We're talking about all these other teams hitting home runs. The Diamondbacks are leading the postseason in home runs, dude. It's like that's all they do. Gabriel Moreno is one of my favorite swings in all of baseball. I hope he's okay, man. When he's sitting on something, he gets his pitch. You don't miss it, and it is a thing of beauty to watch him follow through.
I've
got something going on there in the desert, man.
I've said something. I think I said this in a recent episode that, young players this time of year, you could be on a different scale. Like the player Gabriel Moreno was in April or May, getting more experience and reps than he's ever gotten. And I think tasting now this kind of success. Like, the kid was a top 5 prospect. Like, that doesn't just happen. Like, you know this, Trev. Like, to be rated like that, you have to be special. Like, you're not a guy that gets called up and, like, they look like they could be a starter for the next 3 years. Like, no, if you're a top 5 prospect, you're someone that has next level talent and potential. And he racked up WAR this year. We've done the when he's starting versus he's sitting stats for that Arizona Diamondbacks team. And he's a star, man. And we're seeing him get banged up along the way. Like, he gets hit with a foul ball in the hand today that gets him pulled late in the game.
What's your hand doing there, bro?
Yeah, I know. That's always one of those weird things that it's anyone that's looking at the catcher position, like, come on, Pop. Like, you just have to move it like 2 inches back.
Show me how you do it.
I
can barely do that right now.
Right?
I've been throwing that blitz ball around.
Too many bicep workouts. I do Dodgers fans, and hey, I think I can relate for a little bit. I think they would tell you right now that if they're going down, they'd rather get the beat down at this point because their team's stacked. They're the Dodgers. They won the division. They lost a lot of starting pitching this year, which I think we'll talk some Dodgers starting pitching. My God, look at those stats. Like, I do think Dodger fans, and you get to point at Philadelphia, you'll get to point at Houston, where I think Dodger fans will be saying, like, hey, we know we're really good. We need to take another step up.
I don't think they see it that way at all, man.
What's that?
I think
they
say I think they say the starting pitching that we ran out there in the playoff series isn't obviously we need to get healthy, but running that out there and getting 4 2/3 innings pitched, 13 earned runs, 5 homers, 16 hits, only 2 strikeouts. And I have all the respect in the world for these guys. Clayton Kershaw, first ballot Hall of Famer. Bobby Miller had a great season this year. A rookie starting your second game for the Dodgers, I don't think should happen, man. You have to be a sensational rookie. And again, I understand they dealt with a lot of injuries. But I mean, if you're a Yankees fan, that's what happened to your starting pitching, and those were the guys. What would you think? You have to put yourself in their situation. That's the first thing they're pointing to right now.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't do enough at the deadline in the starting pitching run.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, hey, I do think this is getting away from the series a little bit because, if I'm a Snakes fan and I saw it happen,
Sure.
if I saw Dalton Feely, our stats guy, have this, like, hey, don't make it about the fucking Dodgers. We'll have time to talk about them because they're out.
Sure.
I guess I'm just
agree.
a little surprised, like, Bueller, Gonsolin, May, Urias.
I don't think they're. You just said you think that they know they're good and it was just I think they're going to be pointing to that big time.
Okay, we'll get there.
Starting pitching depth, yeah. Okay.
Snakes. Fucking Snakes. Dude.
The fucking Snakes. Kevin Ginkel's my guy.
Okay, let's go there because you can go anywhere with this team. You got to start with the homers, man. The punches, the big inning that we've been talking about that's been around this entire postseason. 4 homers, never been done before in any postseason series ever. And it was bomb after bomb after bomb. Those are deflating. No, it's deflating.
To a team that's already on the ropes, bro.
No, it's deflating. Thinking you've given up your 4th home run, and then you come to find out it's a foul ball. And then on the next pitch, you give up the 4th home run.
The coolest feeling in the world. That's for a hitter. Oh my gosh.
Do you have memories of doing that? Like you pulled one down the line and you're like, fuck, I was just a click too early, and then you hit the home run and you're like, damn right. Like I earned that.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Or you earlier in the game you do it, or earlier in the at bat. It doesn't have to be like a consecutive pitch is even more awesome. But I mean, once you put a 4 spot up there and the pressure's already on the Dodgers and it's just compounding, man. So that bottom of the 3rd, that was the game. And then, you got your bullpen coming in and just getting the freaking job done, man. Like Kevin freaking Ginkel mowing through the heart of the Dodgers order. 1 for 21, Mookie and Freddie. I mean, you have to give all the credit in the world to the pitching staff for doing that. That hadn't been done all season.
Of all the starters we've talked about who have gotten banged up, if I told you, hey, one of Lance Lynn or Brandon Pfaadt is going to have a bad day at the office, who would you have taken? I think a lot of you would lean Lance.
We just saw Pfaadt not have a great start.
If we were going to hop on the mics and, the veteran found something for a day, or the kid gives 4.10 earned runs to these Dodgers, man, awesome for him. Awesome for him, and I can't wait to see his next start, because whether it's Phillies or Braves, whoa. But he's like their 3rd starter. Like, it's not... This isn't a Phillies situation where they're like, oh, they got Suarez, they got Taijuan Walker, they got a cup. Like, no.
Well,
after
Kelly... Didn't Lovello say something like, I'm going to give him, 14 outs? Something like that?
I'd have to double check. I don't know if that was.
I saw that written before the game, but I think they'll approach it like this on his start days. But yes, they'll take just as this is very similar to what Dusty did with Urquidy. Like, let's just monitor the situation. Steal me some outs, dude. Like, shorten the game for me. The more they shorten the game, the happier they are.
And I guess that's my playoff confidence can change who you are as a player. Like, if you're playing fantasy baseball next year, get Gabriel Moreno. I want to see Brandon Pfaadt's next start so bad, because I could see him, instead of coming in with the mindset of okay, my coach is hoping I survive 12 batters. I just threw 4.1 shutout to the Dodgers. That might change how you approach and how you come at them. Trev, I was ready to start there because you mentioned that little, you were gink shaming me a little bit. He right now, playoff formula, you need a couple guys to get hot everywhere, especially in the bullpen. It seems to stand out more. Seawald, that guy ain't scared. Ginkel, probably a lot more impressive than how Seawald looks coming through the TV at least. Ginkel's got to have a conversation for one of the best relievers left going, and that's Andrew Salfrank. Here's your one pitch in a do or die situation again. I'm a rookie. And Ryan Thompson, who he's the guy who gets hit today, and he's been good. He gets beat on pitches he beat the hitters on. He jams up Taylor, but it bloops in, and then 0-2 pitch should have been a little more off the plate, and Kike's able to get there. But dude, I guess that's what makes me truly happy about this Snakes team. We've talked about them. Okay, playoffs, you want star power. Awesome. Like Corbin Carroll, they got guys. You need people who are getting hot, like Ketel Marte is doing it. Christian Walker is a problem. How about Perdomo, who's just been running his hands up to bunt? He hits the first ding-dong today. That's got to feel pretty good for him and the team. They're starting pitching. Kellen Gallion now, Fott trying to join the party, and their bullpen has been nails. That it's every aspect. It's not like this is we're saying, oh, they hit a bunch of homers. They didn't do that all year. Nice. Dude, they're just balling.
Everything. Whew. Every area they come at you. I love the up the middle defense. Perdomo and Ketel Marte. It's beautiful when they're rolling the ball and twirling it up the middle. It's pretty, man. Christian Walker making unbelievable picks at first base, picking up my guy Longo. Had a tough day to play today. You're all right, bro.
Some tough.
He was texting me some things before the game.
Oops.
About the other games. He's a sicko, bro. He's a freaking rat. That's why I love that guy, dude.
Baseball guy.
He's in the freaking weed. He is a snake, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the weeds. I love it. In the best way possible. I mean that. Ginkel, hey, come on in. Let's get that first out. It's Colton Wong. 4-pitch walk. Okay, no big deal. Then we go 2-2 slider to Mookie, and then we get freaking 98-mile-an-hour fastball past Freddie. Strike three, and I'll get JD to fly out to deep center. But incredible.
We've been tunnelings come up a lot us talking this playoffs because we're more focused in on every at bat. Kevin Ginkel, the pitch he strikes out Mookie Betts on. Mookie Betts is one of the best to ever play this game, and he was not. I think 9 out of 10 times he can't do anything to that pitch. He had been seeing the Ginkel's 97-mile-per-hour fastball over there. He bangs a perfect slider, perfect location. That one of the best to ever do it. Got beat by Kevin Ginkel. And man, I don't know, Trev. It's easy to lean into this stuff when, again, this is short series. These are baseball games where the Dodgers had the leading run up at one point when they're rallying. We're still a swing away from going, if the Dodgers won tonight, what would we be saying right now?
Chris Taylor swing against Seawald, bro. 407 feet, 101 off the bat. Foolish Bailey put the tweet out. How many parks would have been a home run in? 22. 8 of them. One happened to be Chase Field. It's not a homer, man. You put a swing on the ball like that and you don't get rewarded. You do it in a prime time game, elimination, your team's back up against the wall and you can be a hero and you put a swing on the ball that in 22 parks is a homer, just not in this one. That's tough. It's a tough pill to swallow right there, man.
Yeah, and it's where sports you can start spinning because we do all this be better, be like the Astros. They can do it. Dodgers fans, starting pitching wise, this did not feel like the team, huh? No. But if that ball goes over the fence tonight, we're talking a different story. And what was it? It was a do or die game with the Nationals.
We'd get Kershaw in Game 4, which would.
My God!
Would have
Talk
loved
about
that.
must-watch. What was it? 2019 that Will Smith hit one that would have been out all year, and then it landed.
Yeah, there was literally a mixed bag of balls during that postseason.
Yes. That's one of those things that, if I heard the front office saying those two were tough, I'd be like, yeah. Yeah, that kind of is tough. But At the same time, they weren't a match for the Snakes. Like if you
No,
so
never.
for all the Dodgers BS that we kind of are dodging because they're one of America's sports team. They're huge. They're the LA Dodgers. If you just showed a neutral party this game and they had no idea the Dodgers or the Snakes' history, they would have walked away saying that the Diamondbacks were better all around.
Yeah.
All around.
All around. Exactly. That's a great way to put it. Just you watched baseball for the first time, you understood the game, but you've never seen these two teams before. You would be like, wow, this Arizona team, they have some electric players. And how about that bullpen? How about that Ginkle guy?
They must be known for their pen. Man, the
Gosh, Evan Longoria is a stud, and so is Torey Lovullo. They're hot.
man, they've got some emotional stuff going on. Hazen with his kids throwing out the first pitch and stuff, and they did this celebratory shot when the team won the series, and we compliment a team like the Astros when Dusty's like, hey, I'm gonna save it for the World Series because we are those guys. Man, seeing Lourdes Gurriel, who's 1 year in Arizona, feeling the Dodgers, catches the last out, he's slapping the ground. Corbin Carroll is fist pumping like, I am that guy, this team is that team. I don't know. What'd you just see that got you giggling?
I pulled up our TPP over-under picks.
Oh, let's call it. Thank you guys for tuning in.
74.5 for the D-backs. Me and you went under.
We don't know ball. It's a tough thing to tell people 55 minutes in, but we're just not ball knowers.
What's funny is at the time we did this, I don't know when this was. So on August 16th, they were barely over that.
Right.
And here they are in the freaking NLC.
It's crazy.
Oh,
Dodgers, we've got time to talk about you guys. Snakes, we're going to be talking about you guys. Crazy. Cannot wait to see who they get. Closing thoughts, anyone? Let's get the
Corbin Carroll.
Let's get the hell out of Dodge. Corbin Carroll's a star. Star.
Tommy Pham just shaping it over there.
Ketel,
Fingerprints all over that.
Ketel Marte is an MFer. Andrew Salfrank, who are you?
I mean, a Sal Frank versus Kirk Ring matchup is going to happen.
Wow.
Yeah. Get to know them, people.
Look like we're watching a college game. Look at these guys.